Hi, and welcome to your cerebellum class. In this class, we're going to specifically target the cerebellum, which is a very, very important part of your brain. It sits right underneath the main cortex and is divided into a right and left half. This part of the brain is really, really important for posture, coordination, balance, amongst many other things. The reason I mentioned the right and left half is because most of us have one half that's a little bit dominant or stronger than the other half. The neurons, the nerve cells in this part of the brain are stronger, they're more activated. So throughout this class, we're going to try and wake up the dormant side. So we need to do a test for this. So I'd like you to sit down somewhere in your sofa or on the mats on the floor, wherever you like, and just place your hands on your thighs with your fingers together. And the test is to turn the palms up and then turn the palms down, and you're going to do this very, very fast. So start tapping, and then speed it up, speed it up, speed it up, speed it up, and you'll notice that one arm is struggling to keep up. You may not be quite sure after that test, but let's do a few more. Take your arms out in front of you, turn your palms up, turn them down, turn them up, turn them down, and then keep going, keep going, keep going, faster and faster and faster and faster and faster, and then you'll notice one arm kind of goes a little flippery. That's the side where your cerebellum is not so active. So it doesn't always have to do with handedness, but typically it does. The other thing, if you're still not sure, try this with your fingers. So just start tapping your index finger and your thumb, and then speed that up a little bit faster, a little bit faster, a little bit faster, until you find which one is lagging or which one is sluggish. And that will be for most of you, I'm assuming, will be the left side. So throughout the class today, when I say do this on your left side, is because I know that most of you are right-handed, most of you are going to have a more inhibited left cerebellum side. So if you happen to be left-handed and your cerebellum is the opposite test here, if your weak side is not the left side, just reverse. Every time I say do this on your left, you're going to do it on your right. Does that make sense? We're ready to start? Oh, and another thing, before we start the class, you do need a prop. It could be a tennis ball, any ball you can find at home, or if you can't, just squeeze anything in your hand, like a bottle of water will be enough, a small bottle. Are you ready? Let's get started. Okay, let's go ahead and start standing up for the warm-up. Grab your ball in your less coordinated side, so on the side that was flippery. You're going to hold the ball, stand with your toes pointing forward, feet hip distance apart, and just take a moment to think about standing in best posture, or nice and tall. And when you're ready, you're going to flick your eyes from the ceiling to the floor, ceiling to the floor, ceiling to the floor, nice and faster as you get used to this. What this does is it activates the midline cerebellum, which is in charge of our posture and telling the muscles of our trunk to do their job. Relax your eyes and go ahead and do a spine roll down. So drop your chin to your chest, roll down vertebra by vertebra like you're peeling your spine off an imaginary wall behind you. We're going to breathe in to stay at the bottom, and then breathe out, press into the feet, and roll all the way back up again. We're going to do the eye switches again, but this time we're going to squeeze the ball in our hand as we do it. So go ahead and squeeze the ball in the left hand and flick your eyes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, as you're squeezing the ball at the same time. We're now activating neurons in the left cerebellum and the midline cerebellum. Relax, and then test your roll down again. Drop your chin to your chest, roll down vertebra by vertebra, and you may notice that your range of motion has improved a little bit. Take an inhale at the bottom, exhale, roll up one vertebra at a time. Now take the left arm in front of you, squeezing the ball gently. You're going to draw a figure of 8 as if you're drawing it with a pen in your hand. Now remember, I'm only telling you left side because I'm assuming your left side is your less coordinated side. But if you did the test and it was the right side, then remember, everything I say to do on the left, you do on the right, if you're the non-typical person. Non-typical right-handed person, I should say. Now change direction. And you may feel a little less coordinated on this direction than you did in the first one. And then go ahead and cross the midline of the body and go beside you. So it's a figure of 8, but it's on its side, like an infinity sign you're drawing now, going across the body and beside you. And in fitness, we're so obsessed with training the right side the same as the left. And when you understand the body, and particularly neurology, you realize that we're so asymmetrical, we're so not symmetrical, that it's perfectly okay to do some stuff that's different on the left compared to the right. Change direction of that arm, of that 8. If anything, it's very beneficial to do different things on the left. So throughout this class, you're going to notice we're doing more coordinated spiral type movements on the left side and more linear movements on the right-hand side. And relax. And then just place the ball on the floor, and we'll continue the rest of the warm-up standing. The cerebellum also controls your balance. So I'd like you to stand on the left side. So place your left foot very strongly into the floor, and then go ahead and balance. And we'll go back to flicking our eyes from the ceiling to the floor, but this time trying to stay balanced while doing it. So go ahead and flick your eyes from the ceiling to the floor, and if you're standing on a squidgy mat like I am, this is quite a challenge. And hopefully you're noticing by now, how much our eyes control our balance. So keep switching, top, down, top, down, top, down, and when you're done, just let go and relax. Great. Okay, so we're going to roll down to the mat now. So if you stand at the back of your mat, you're going to roll down vertebra by vertebra again, like you're peeling your spine off a wall, and then take an all-fours position. While you're here, just let's warm up the spine a little bit by doing a cat stretch. We're going to inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, go into your cat stretch from the tail to the head. So tailbone tucks under first, lower back, middle back, upper back, head. Breathe in, stay at the top, and breathe out to release from the tail to the head. Inhale to prepare again. Exhale, roll up from the tail to the head into that nice dome shape. Inhale, stay, and then exhale to release from tail to head. Hold it in a neutral spine now, in the middle. Think about your center muscles in your core. Think about drawing your abdominals slightly up and in, and you're going to take your left leg back to reach. When you take your left leg back, make sure you're pressing strongly into your hands, your 2 hands, and your right knee. So press strongly into your 2 hands and your right knee and reach your left leg back. And pause here. And you'll notice that you can, hopefully you'll be able to balance some drinks on your back here, like a tray of drinks, and you want to be completely stable. Make sure your hip bones are level, your shoulders are level. And when you're ready, go ahead and switch sides. Place the left knee back down again. Press down into the left knee and your 2 hands, and staying absolutely stable, you're going to take your right leg back. So you want to be like those tables where you remove one limb and it magically all stays in place. All the drinks are there, nothing has spilled. This is working your deep spinal stabilizers, and we're going to make this a little bit more cerebellum focused now. So go ahead and take your left leg behind you while pressing down strongly into your 2 hands and your right knee. And while you're there, you're going to do some small circles, making sure you're absolutely stable as you do this. And if you're able to turn this into a figure of 8, turn it into a vertical or a horizontal figure of 8 while you're stabilizing everything else. Change direction of that 8. Make it nice and smooth, and notice if it's choppy. And relax. Take a child's pose just briefly, just to rest. And we're going to do that one more time. So we're going to do one more set, but this time we're going to reach the opposite arm forward. So go ahead and press down again into your right knee and two hands. Right knee and left hand in particular. Press down into your right knee and left hand so that the right arm and the left leg are free. Hold it for a second here to make sure you're absolutely stable. And then see if you can do either circles in opposite directions, or if you're really feeling up for the challenge, coordination-wise, you can try and do 8s. But don't let the coordination or the 8 ruin your stability or spill those drinks. So I'm going to stick with circles because I know if I do 8s, I'll spill the drinks everywhere. Change direction. Nice and smooth. And if you were to imagine that your limbs are invisible and you're just trunk, you should look like a statue. And rest. Take your right hand down, left knee down, and a brief rest in child's pose. Okay, go ahead and swing your legs round to the front so you're in a nice seated position. I'm going to turn to face you. We're going to work on our feet a little bit. So we're going to flex the feet and point. Flex the ankles, point. Flex, point. Actually, I should probably, no, I'll stay facing you. Now, I want you to let that right side go flex point on autopilot. Let the left one chill out for a little bit. Keep the right one going on autopilot, flex point, flex point, flex point. And then when you're ready, start to circle the left ankle while the right one continues to just do that linear autopilot motion. In all the NeuroPilates classes, you're going to notice we're adding a lot more repertoire for the eyes and for the feet. These two extremities have tons and tons of nerve endings that feed back to the brain. Go ahead and change the direction of your circles. Remember, the right foot stays on autopilot and the left foot is circling around. In the beginning, you're going to feel very uncoordinated doing this, but after a while, with some practice, it'll all come really smooth. Great. Take your hands next to your shins on the floor and start drumming with your knees, as if your knees are literally drums, warming up your hamstrings, and see if you can lead this beat with the left side. Lead with the left side, lead with the left side. I know it's difficult because you're going to notice that you're actually doing it more with the right if you're a typical right-handed person. And then relax and roll up nice and tall. So I'm going to swing round just so you can see my spine. We're going to start with our rollbacks or half rollbacks. So you can bend the knees or have them straight. It's up to you. But I want you to imagine that your spine is a letter I, and then it's going to go into a letter J. So tuck your tailbone under or think of sitting on your jeans back pockets and then come right up to an I again. Then we go from an I to a letter J to a letter C, which is a further C curve now. Think of balancing a book on your head and think of drawing the abdominals in and up. Then come forward, back to the J and into the I with your shoulders nice and relaxed. If you feel any discomfort here, just place your hands behind your thighs. On your next exhale, go from an I to a letter J to a letter C. Go deeper, 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 only as low as your heels can stay on the floor. Maybe kiss the mat with the lower back and then come forward and lengthen up nice and tall. And we're going to repeat that. As you exhale, roll down, roll down, roll down. See if you can kiss the mat with your lower back and then restack the spine nice and tall, passing through the J and the I. As you exhale, rolling back, scooping the abdominals in gently, and then inhale, we come forward and grow tall. Take the ball with you this time in your left hand. As you exhale, rolling down, rolling down, rolling down. Hold it here. Draw the abdominals in. Bend the knees a little bit further in. Take the arms up by the sides and by the ears. And then come forward again. Take them by the side. Here the challenge is to stay really curled up to activate and engage your abdominals. Take the arms back to the side and up and forward, and then reverse the direction. If your neck is feeling uncomfortable here, just do arm circles with your head on the floor. Reach the arms back, circle round, and reach one more time. Back, circle round, reach. Now come up just a little bit higher, and then roll down and relax. So we've woken up our core muscles, which, as you know, is the essence of traditional Pilates. And now we're going to do the one-leg circle, which is going to challenge our mid-stability again. So on the right side, we're going to stick to a linear, typical one-leg circle, and on the left side, we're going to do a figure of 8. So go ahead and take your, make sure your spine is neutral, and whenever we say that in Pilates, we mean the natural curves of your spine. And if you go ahead and lift your right leg up to tabletop, the right leg, and then stretch it if you like. Lower the leg a little if your hamstrings are tight. Bend the knee a little bit if your hamstrings are tight. There's no issue at all. And then place your hands on your 2 hip bones and make sure that you've got like 2 drinks here that you don't want to spill as you start to do your small circles. And these small circles get bigger and bigger as you feel stable. So you challenge yourself and see, how big can I make this circle without spilling the drinks at all? And I want you to imagine that these drinks are filled to the absolute brim. Change direction, circle the opposite way. Just keep your breath very natural here. And relax. Bend the knee, take the leg down. On the left side, we're going to challenge ourselves by drawing an 8. This could be a horizontal 8 or a vertical 8, whatever comes naturally to you. But the cerebellum, think of it as something that feeds off spiraling type coordinated movement. It loves novelty. Cerebellum loves novelty. And if you're doing a novel motion like an 8 compared to a circle, you're getting those nerve cells excited. You're getting them activated. And all our brain needs to stay healthy is activation. Fuel too, but that's breathing and nutrition, which is a whole other topic. Change direction of the 8. Keep checking in with your drinks that are on your hip bones. Are they stable or have you spilt them? Be honest with yourself. How smooth is that 8? Is it actually an 8? And can you keep that opposite leg really stable? And relax. Well done. Okay, we're going to go back to activating our core. So take your hands behind your head. Shuffle back a little bit just to make your spine and trunk a little bit longer. And then as you exhale, nod your chin a little and curl up with your head and shoulders, scooping the abdominals in gently and drawing your hip bones towards each other. So you're activating the deep core. And then inhale, release back down. Let's just do 8 reps of this, breathing out to curl up. And you want to feel like it's the exhale that's actually lifting you. It's the exhale that's closing your ribs, facilitating this motion. And we're doing this to warm up for the 100, which is coming up, which is one of the most famous Pilates exercises. Let your head rest heavy on your hands and think about a tomato under your chin that you don't want to squish. So you'll see a lot of people doing this, jamming their chin to the chest and turning it into a neck exercise. Think about really lifting your shoulder blades off the floor with those exhalations. Let's do 2 more. And rest. Now we're going to go back to holding the ball in our hand, squeezing the ball in the left hand, and we're going to do the 100 with it. So go ahead and lift one leg up to tabletop, ideally keeping your spine in neutral as you lift the other leg. Now, if you're one of those people that as you lift the other leg, you feel your lower back immediately take over, then feel free to tilt your pelvis a bit this way. So imagine you've got a cup of tea on your pelvis, and you're going to spill that cup of tea over your tummy, and you take what we call an imprint position. So you could do that if you have a pretty overactive lower back. Otherwise, we try and remain nice and neutral with our spine. We're going to squeeze the legs together, reach the arms long, and squeeze the ball in your left hand, nod, curl up with the head and shoulders Reach long. If you want to, feel free to straighten your legs if you're feeling more energetic, and start pumping. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 10, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 20, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 30, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 40, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 50, in, 2, 3, 4, keep going, out, 2, 3, 4, 60, squeeze the ball, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 70, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 80, in, 2, 3, little higher, out, 3, 4, 90, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 100, reach and squeeze the ball, reach, 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 and then relax, bend the knees back to tabletop, and then take the head down. It's very tough to do walking. I didn't realize. I usually stop counting in my real classes. Right. Now, one thing you want to know about the cerebellum is that it also activates the posterior muscles. So what we're going to do now is really try and activate the muscles in the back of our thighs and our glutes, so our hamstrings and our glutes. We're going to exhale, tilt your pelvis towards you, and peel your spine vertebra by vertebra off the floor until you get to a nice bridge position or a ski slope from your knees to your shoulders. And a lot of people do this exercise and they don't really feel much. But you can turn this into a pretty strong exercise if you think about bringing your heels towards your bottom as if you're going to do a hamstring curl in the gym. So actively try and drag the mat in your head, of course, not actually dragging the mat. Actively try bring your heels to your bottom. And if you're really good at this, you may be able to give yourself a mini cramp if you've got a good brain-hamstring connection. And just hold and breathe and let your brain really focus on what is going on with the hamstrings and glutes. Saying hello, hello hamstrings, hello glutes. Now I know you exist. Now I can activate you when you're not thinking about it, which is when we're walking and living day to day. Now relax your bottom before we roll back down again. We're going to do another set with our feet together this time and our knees ever so slightly open. So feet together, knees ever so slightly open, and roll up back to the bridge. And hold. Again, you'll feel slightly different part of your hamstrings working now, more the lateral part, a little bit more of the glutes. Think about drawing your sitting bones together. Think about pulling your heels towards your bottom, again as if you're going to do an active hamstring curl in the gym. And really try to keep that contraction constant, but at the same time notice if you're tensing everywhere else. So relax your face, relax your shoulders, and balance that tension and relaxation by really tensing your legs, but really relaxing your upper body. And we're going to hold for another 5 counts. 5, 4, if you're doing this correctly, your glutes and hamstrings should be on fire. 3, 2, 1, and then ease off relax the bottom, roll down. Let's try single leg. Have your feet hip distance apart. As you exhale, imprint. Press down into your feet like you're going to stand in them. Send your knees over and away until you reach a nice ski slope again. Really push down into your left foot and lift your right leg up 90-degree tabletop. Hold it here. Hold it here, really waking up your glute and hamstring. And notice if your right waist has shortened, it's going to want to shorten. Don't let it. Keep your right waist long and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Softly take that right leg down, but keep the hip bones high as you do this. Press down strongly into the right foot, and now softly lift the left leg up to tabletop and hold. 5, 4. Again, don't let your left waist shorten. Keep your left waist long and keep your left hip bone lifted. 3, 2, 1. Take the foot down and then roll down vertebra by vertebra. Okay, we're going to repeat that, but this time we're going to bring in a little bit of cerebellum left-right differentiation. So our right leg is going to do something linear while we're working the left glute and hamstring, and then we're going to do something spirally while we're working the right glute and hamstring. So when you're ready, exhale, imprint, peel the spine vertebra by vertebra until you get back to the ski slope from your knees to your shoulders. We're going to press down strongly into the left foot to make the right leg float up to tabletop. From here, we'll do a nice simple linear pattern of stretching the leg as you exhale away. Inhale to come back. Let's aim to do 8 to 10 of these. Exhale, straighten. If it feels too much, just stick to a regular bridge hold, just activating like we did earlier. And then bend. Exhale, reach. Inhale to bend. I think we've got 4 more. 4, and bend. Exhale, reach 3, and bend. Exhale, reach 2, and bend. Last time. And then take the foot down. Keep your hips nice and high. Press down strongly into the right foot. This time you're going to reach your left leg up towards the ceiling. And then here, you're going to do some horizontal 8 with your leg, keeping your bottom high the whole time. So draw an 8 as if your leg is a pen or your foot is a pen, and it's drawing an 8 on the ceiling. Notice what happens to the rest of the body. Is it stable like a statue, or is it moving around? Change direction. This part is probably a little bit more advanced for a beginner program, but we're just having a go. There's nothing wrong with your bottom dropping a little bit, as long as you know that the aim is eventually to keep that ski slope. And you'll notice I'm sinking slowly a little bit here. So I need to make this work a little bit more. Take the foot down, lift your bottom a little bit higher, and then roll down vertebra by vertebra, hug to your chest. Lovely. And you'll need that in your lower back. You'll need a little bit of a stretch now. Start to lift your head and grab the back of your thighs, rocking, and then rocking a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, until you're rolling like a ball. Rolling like a ball doesn't feel like much of a core exercise in the beginning until you really make yourself do it strict distancing between your knees to your shoulders. So if you can lift your legs up, open your knees a bit, and squeeze your elbows to your knees and maintain that gap as you roll back and come back in, then you'll actually start to feel this in your core muscles. So inhale to come down, exhale to roll up, really drawing your abdominals in and up. Let's do 3 more like this. And then hold it at the top and balance. While you're here, we're going to exhale. Here, you should be sitting on your jeans back pockets. Your breastbone is nice and lifted. And when you're ready, exhale, stretch one leg out, and then bring it back in. Exhale, stretch the other leg out, bring it back in. Exhale, twist to the right, come back center, twist to the left, come back center, and repeat. Right leg reaches, and then lower. Left leg reaches, and lower. Twist to the right, center, twist to the left. Now, as the right leg stretches, we twist to the right. As the left leg stretches, we twist to the left. So just keep alternating. 8, exhale, 7. Notice when you do these twists, that you're actually twisting from your rib cage, and you're not just twisting with your arms and your head. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now we just need to open all this up a little bit and activate our posterior muscles again. Turn your hands to face the back, nice big jazz hands. Feet, bring them nice and close to you. And as you inhale, just come up into a table position here, or modified leg pull back. And then inhale to come back down again. And then let's actually come up on an inhale. And then exhale, come back down. And on the next inhale, reach your left arm and look towards your right hand, breathing in. And then breathe out to bring it down, and switch sides. Breathe in, reach the opposite way. Breathe out to lower. Breathe in, reach, pushing down into the feet, looking at the hand. Breathe out to lower. Breathe in, reach. And relax. So that was just to open things up after all that core work. Now we're going to lay on our side. And again, we're going to do differentiation between the sides here. So let's start with the laying on our left side. So we're going to lay on our left side. We're going to bend our left leg, our bottom leg, and I really want you to reach your right leg long. Imagine someone's pulling your right leg away, creating space in your hip joint, and arcing and lifting space underneath your left waist. And you can put your hand here where the bottom of your pelvis is, and imagine there's a drink sitting there. And just start by lifting and lowering the leg, lifting and lowering from the hip joint. So as you lift your right leg, you don't want to shorten your right waist at all. You want to keep the bottom waist lifted like there's freezing water running underneath there, and you don't want to touch it. Now go forward and backward, as if we're practicing walking with stability. So if there was a drink now right here on the top of your hip bone, have you spilt it? Or can you keep it nice and stable? Good. Bend the knee slightly and turn the leg out, but make sure you only turn your leg out as much as you've not moved your pelvis or not spilled the drink. And then keeping the leg as it is, take it to the front slightly. You'll feel it very deep in your hip flexors here. And then you're taking it slightly to the back, keeping the external rotation in your hip joint. Inhale, take it to the front. And then exhale, take it to the back. And then you're only taking it as far to the front as you're not losing neutral spine. So you have to keep thinking of sticking your bottom out to maintain neutral in this exercise. And then exhale, turn. You're probably feeling quite a deep pressure in your glute because of the turnout position. You're working your deep piriformis muscle, and then last time take it forward, keeping that bottom waist lifted. So now we're going to straighten the leg and go into some circles, some standard circles, just nice and smooth, focusing again on, because most of us don't have a lot of hip joint, most of us don't have a lot of space in our right hip joint, so you really want to feel traction here. Change direction of the circle. And try and feel relaxed, even though your glute's probably on fire right now, or you're feeling a lot of warmth here. And then when you're done, hold and relax. Go ahead and come up to a seated position in a mermaid like this. Lift your left arm up to the ceiling. Side bend towards your feet, towards your legs. Take your hand behind your head, and as you breathe out, rotate down towards your feet. Breathe in, turn up towards the ceiling. Exhale to rotate down towards the feet. This is a thoracic mobilization, or mobilization for the stiffest part of our spine. Last one. And relax. Great job. Let's go to the other side. So we're going to do some slightly different things on the left side just to get our left cerebellum's attention. You're laying down, bottom leg is bent on the right side now, and the top leg is lifted. And I want you to start with just drawing a vertical 8 with your left leg, a vertical 8, a nice fat 8. And notice if you can do it without spilling that drink here. The drink is now in your top left hip bone. Can you keep your bottom waist lifted also? And then change direction. Make it smooth, really smooth. Notice where there's choppy bits. This is really isolated hip mobility. And now we go horizontal 8. So think about drawing an infinity sign with your leg. And can the rest of the body remain a statue as you do this? Can you really isolate your hip joint? Change direction of the 8. Good. And relax. So bend the knee, turn the leg out, and just do a few of these external rotations that we did on the right side. So we go forward and back, keeping the turnout in the leg. Remember, the leg is what's turned out, but your hip bones need to remain stacked to keep that drink there. So you'll notice that your left and right have different amount of turnout. This is where your glute will start to, the deep glute muscles, the 6 deep glute muscles will start to fire. Now hold it halfway in the middle on this left side and keeping that position, see if you can do some baby circles from the top of your hip joint, which is where your leg meets your pelvis. Really reminding your brain of the existence of this joint. Change direction. The rest of the leg needs to feel like dead weight. You're going to want to involve the knee here. Try not to involve it. Pretend this whole leg is a statue and it's just circling right where I'm pointing, right here in this crease. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Take your Z position again. Lift your right arm, side bend towards your feet. Take your hand behind your head, and as you exhale, rotate with your rib cage towards the feet. Inhale, open towards the ceiling. Exhale, rotate towards the feet. Make sure this is from the ribs and not just an upper body motion, not just an arm motion. Exhale, twist. Inhale, extend. Last time, breathe out, rotate, and extend. Okay, we're just going to do some extension now. And remember, by default, whenever you're working your extensor muscles, you're working your midline cerebellum because it's that part, those neurons send signals through nerve bundles down to the muscles of your back to tell them what to do. So we're going to lay down on our stomach. And whenever you lay down on your stomach, just wiggle your bottom a little bit, side to side, to loosen up your lower back. Maybe bend the knees and do some windshield wipes, side to side. This is also helping loosen up the lower back, which can often be very tight. The muscles there can be tight. And relax. And we're going to do breaststroke. So you're going to take your arms in the W position, feet hip distance apart, slide your shoulders well away from your ears to begin with, and as you inhale, lift your chest very slightly off the floor. And then as you exhale, come back down again. Breathe in, really exaggerate, shoulders away from the ears, down the back, and then lift. Imagine you're sliding your shoulder blades into your back pockets, and then lower. And when you're ready, start to lift your arms also, to hover above the ground. Press the feet into the floor, the tops of your feet into the floor, and lower. Again, we lift. This time we stay up. Breathe out, stretch your arms to the front. Breathe in, bend, and relax. One more time. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, stretch the arms. Breathe in, bend, and relax. Ready for a full breaststroke as if you're in the pool. So as you exhale, you're going to hover above the mat and stretch your arms to the front. Now, take your arms around and come up for a breath as if you're in the water, and then bend your arms to dive back into the water again. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, bend your arms and dive forward. The whole time you're doing these, keep the back of the neck long and not wrinkled. So no wrinkles at the back of the neck. We're looking down at the floor. Let's do 3 more. You're probably feeling your mid-back muscles working. Take a nice big inhale as you come up. And then last time. And rest. And since this class is about coordination, we're going to do that one more time, but this time with swimming legs. So the legs are going to be kicking away, swimming as such. And the challenge is, can you move with your arms nice and slow as your legs move really fast? Ready? So start the legs going, get them going on autopilot, and then when you're ready, breathe out, hover, and breathe in to come up. Breathe out, dive forward, and breathe in, extend. Two more. Keep going. Inhale, reach up. Take the arms all the way down. Squeeze your shoulder blades back and down as you reach the arms back. Keep the legs going and kicking. Last time. And relax in child's pose. Okay, if your knees allow, go ahead and balance onto the balls of your feet. This is the last part of our class now. And the last part is all about balance. And the cerebellum controls our balance, amongst other parts of the brain too. So you go in the middle. Grab the ball in your hand again, and in your left hand, and see first if you're comfortable balancing on the balls of your feet. And when you're ready, we're going to challenge this balance by doing sort of fast-ish, only as fast as you're able to, fast, sharp arm circles. 1, 2, 3, and then we shoot up and down again. Does that make sense? Now, if your knees do not allow you to do this, you're going to do the exact same motion, but up on your tiptoes, you do the circle, and then you land on your heels when you're done. So, use your center muscles to help you. Ready? Squeeze the ball on the left hand slightly and go 1, 2, 3, shoot up, come down. Ready? 3 more times. 1, 2, 3, shoot up, and come back down. 2 more. 1, 2, 3, shoot, and come back down. You'll feel yourself getting very warm now. 2, 3, shoot, and lower. Go back to balancing on that left leg. You did it in the beginning. Notice how it feels now, especially with the continuous squeeze of the left hand ball, with the ball in your left hand. Squeeze the ball in your left hand, balance on your left foot, and notice if you feel maybe more connected to the left side of your body now after the class. Rest, and we're going to do one more activation drill for the midline cerebellum, one more eye activation drill. This is a direct neurological exercise, and all I want you to do is take your finger out in front, or the ball actually, bring it towards your nose. Actually, this is quite a big ball. Let's use the finger. Bring it towards your nose and stop bringing the finger close to you when it splits into 2 fingers or when it becomes blurry. So here, you need to see 1 finger and it needs to be clear. So if you've brought it all the way in and it's blurry or it's double, move it away again and just hold it where you can see it as 1 clear finger. And what you're doing is exercising the convergence muscles of your eyes, which directly activates, again, the midline cerebellum, which controls posture, balance, and all the other things we talked about. Relax, test your balance again, squeeze the ball in your left hand, balance on your left leg. You can try the vertical eye switches again. Up, down, and rest. And then finish the class with a roll down, just to compare how you feel compared to the beginning of class. Drop your chin to your chest, roll down vertebra by vertebra, all the way down. Leave the ball on the floor if you want, and then slowly roll up vertebra by vertebra, all the way back up to standing. So I hope you enjoyed your cerebellum class today. If you feel like there was a really big difference between your right and your left sides, have a go at doing simple daily tasks with your left hand, like brushing your teeth, opening the doors, or just balancing on your left leg whenever you're waiting for the kettle to boil. So good luck, and see you for the next class.